13 Haunted Places to Avoid, Part 2. Thank you, Christina Robertson, for leaving this comment. Our first Haunted Places to Avoid video was so scary, we decided to make a second one. Number 13, Cinco Santos. A city in Rio Negro, Argentina, or the Black River, has a dark reputation among Argentinians. It reportedly gets little to no sunlight, which makes it perfect for witches to conduct their black magic. The residents of the town came across a gruesome discovery when they believed they found the body of someone who had been sacrificed to the devil. It was proven to be that of a body of a 12-year-old girl who was buried nearly 70 years ago, but barely decomposed. It was also mysteriously chained to the coffin. Not too long after the discovery, many people in this town reported seeing the ghost of the young girl floating around the cemetery like you see in this photo. Number 12, the John Wayne Gacy House. This 1970s serial killer hid the remains of over 29 different victims inside and around his home. It's easy to tell why this one might be haunted. The original house was destroyed in 1979, but the locals are still mystified by the gruesome details that took place here. Apparently, the grass or even weeds will no longer grow on the property. Stories of the house started emerging that even the new property was haunted by the souls of John Gacy's victims. A movie called The Gacy House featured a story of paranormal investigators that get more than what they bargained for. Do you have what it takes to stay the night here? Most likely a place you want to avoid. Number 11, Père Lachaise Cemetery. Although Père Lachaise Cemetery is one of the most famous and often visited cemeteries in the world, this doesn't mean the spirits want you to come here. The largest cemetery in Paris is also the most haunted and home to graves of notable figures like Jim Morrison, Molière, Edith Piaf, and Oscar Wilde. This tomb here was open, making you wonder for what reason someone disturbed the grave. Here you will experience a dark, eerie vibe from all the vintage tombstone designs that seem to come from the spirits themselves. People have reported experiencing a sense of unease. Many photos have been taken here with tourists that seem to come back revealing orbs of light as well as ghostly appearances. Stop by for a few photos if you dare. Number 10, Stepney Cemetery, Connecticut. Another cemetery you may want to avoid. Possibly the most haunted cemetery in the United States, according to paranormal investigator Lorraine Warren. This one dates back to the 1700s and is home to ectoplasmic blobs, as well as the White Lady of the Union Cemetery. People have claimed to have seen this fabled ghost wandering around the cemetery late at night, searching the lost life of her son during the Civil War. No one can figure out exactly who she is. Many say they've caught her on camera and posted the video on YouTube. She's described as floating with long black hair, wearing a white gown, similar to this photo. Number 9, House in Hull. Many claim this to be the most haunted house in Britain, and it was used as a hostel for many years. Every former resident of this house claims to have seen ghosts, especially of a child that comes out of the fireplace. They would also notice steak knives moving around in random locations. A previous owner of the house claims he was dragged out of the bed, then strangled by evil forces. The house is apparently so evil that no one dares to live here, with the longest living tenant only able to make it 4 days within its walls. The haunted house was opened to paranormal investigators in April 2016. Not a believer in ghosts? Well, go right ahead and see how long you can last here. Number 8, Los Feliz Murder Mansion. This beautiful mansion might look like somewhere you want to go, but after knowing what happened here, you may want to avoid it. The 4-bedroom Spanish-style villa was home to a man named Dr. Harold Perelson and his family. But this ideal place in Los Feliz, California, was also home to a gruesome murder-suicide in 1959. Dr. Harold killed his wife here with a blow to the head with a hammer. He then tried to do the same thing to his children. The kids ran away in horror. He eventually took his own life with a deadly cocktail of tranquilizers and poison. The house was left abandoned, and no one dared coming back here until now. Realtors have had much difficulty selling this picturesque house due to the stories of ghosts from the atrocities that happened here. Would you be willing to live here for the right price? Number 7, Charleville Castle. This Gothic-style castle has been deemed as one of the scariest places on Earth, and somewhere you might want to avoid on your next trip to Ireland. One of the most famous ghosts that lives within its walls is a little girl named Harriet. Her soul still wanders the main stairway after she fell to her death down this staircase in 1861. Visitors have felt her presence in this location, or even heard a small girl singing during the night. Audio samples of a paranormal voice were taken after an investigation at this location. Number 6. Essex Haunted Cottage. A woman named Vanessa Mitchell decided to sell this spooky cottage house in Essex, United Kingdom, because she just couldn't take it anymore. The cottage was at one time a medieval jailhouse that executed accused practitioners of witchcraft. When she bought the house in 2004, she was unaware of the cottage's spooky history, and now she wants to avoid it. Also known as the cage, she apparently has been seeing ghostly images like this one here, of what looks like a satanic ghost. This image was captured on a security camera. If this doesn't seem frightening enough, she also claims she was spanked by a ghost. Many people who have purchased this home don't make it longer than 4 years. Could you live within the walls of a medieval witch prison? Number 5. The Bailey Mansion. This mansion, located in Hartford, Connecticut, is the haunted house that inspired the popular TV series known as American Horror Story. It appeared in season 1 called Murder House. In American Horror Story, the family claims they were haunted by demons and not ghosts. It's now referred to as the Demon House. Why does the Northeast United States seem to be so haunted? This one here doesn't happen to have any tales of true ghosts, but its appearance alone makes you truly wonder. Number 4. Salem, Massachusetts. Another spooky place along the eastern seaboard is Salem, Massachusetts. This is home to the notorious Salem witch trials that led 16 women and 4 men to gruesome executions in the 1600s. Residents firmly believe their spirits still remain here. Several locations have reported supernatural spirits, including the Burying Point. This is a specific burial ground of accused witches and one of the oldest cemeteries in the U.S. Don't forget about the Salem Witchcraft Memorial that commemorates the exact location of the executions. Number 3. TransAllegheny Lunatic Asylum. Who'd want to take a tour of a haunted lunatic asylum from the 1860s in West Virginia? Probably the ones who don't know they should avoid it. This location once housed thousands of mentally ill people. It's said to be home to unexplainable voices and sounds that would send chills down your spine. Hundreds have unfortunately died here, and it's believed the souls of the mentally unstable still wander the hallways. It's been featured on a few ghost television shows such as Ghost Adventures. It might be best just to watch and not go. Number 2. Tower of London. Another one of England's haunted buildings, the Tower of London has earned a reputation of being one of the most haunted places in the United Kingdom. Thou shalt not pass. It's said to be haunted by Queen Anne Boleyn, who was once married to King Henry VIII. She was taken to the tower and beheaded there in 1563. Many people claim to see her headless ghost walking the tower corridors late at night. The Tower of London was once a place of torture and used as a prison for prominent figures. Number 1. Isla de las Muñecas. Just south of Mexico City lies a small stretch of land that needs to be avoided in all cases if you don't want nightmares. Despite it being somewhat of a tourist attraction in recent years, this island is only inhabited by haunted dolls that reportedly move and whisper to each other at night. This was originally dedicated to the lost soul of a girl who drowned off the coast of this island. The man who found the floating doll in the canal where she drowned hung it up on a tree as a sign of respect for the young girl. Now people claim her spirit possesses the dolls. The locals continue to bring creepy dolls to the area for her to play with.